Good evening and welcome to the Psychic Coffee Shop Psychic the Plans. Let me just get this out.
Oh, okay. I just realized we still had mine up from where I added, so I took it in.
There we go. There's Miss Brenda. Okay, so apparently there was a notification going out. Hello, Miss Brenda. How are you?
Hey, Brenda.
Yes, this is our new time. Let's jump into it. The reason I'm saying let's jump into it is there's a few things on the road. Thank you. He done such a good job on that.
Thank you. Yeah, Brenda was saying the new Second Life coffee shop looks great. I'm really happy with it.
Yes.
So,
yeah. We have built an SL base of operations for the Psychic Coffee Shop. It allows me to do readings. SL members can come and hang out there. SL is Second Life, and our Patreon has gotten to see the pictures of it.
So maybe on Tuesday, since they've gotten the sneak peek,
we
can show you during the Psychic Coffee Shop what the Psychic Coffee Shop looks like.
Yes, that would be probably awesome. That's a wonderful idea. All right. So this week has been a week of twisty-turny, upside-downy, let's flip and shake everything out and start over on some things. First thing was Invisible got a job on midnight shift, which puts him into my time zone.
Yes. Especially with the time that he gets off work.
Right.
Because, that's a little early for me.
Well, yeah, it's a little early for you. For me,
depending.
Or one, technically, one way or the other. The other thing is he goes into work at 5:30, which is why the Psychic that plans has been moved to 6. That's one thing. The other thing is we're getting ready to go into the Run of the Black Rose. It starts October 13th this year. So I've got a lot of projects, a lot of plans trying to get moving on it. And the third thing is Aeson's not finding anything that makes him happy. In the pretty planning section world. That doesn't mean that we're not going to be doing some pretty planning here and there. But probably for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I need to get back to basics. I need to get to core. And I'm going to try another coach's planning system. It works for her. Let's see if it can work for me. Shall we?
Okay.
So let's jump into this. We're going to talk our way through it. It's not a planner. It's a planning system.
Now, what's the difference? Because you're saying that, and offhand, I kind of know what you mean, but I don't.
Well, let's hop in and we'll look. I think this is it. No, that's not the one I want. Oh, yeah. And StreamYard created a lot of new things.
Oh, yeah. They've added so many tools and increased their price.
Yes.
I think that's the important note. To play with all of them, we have to double our rate. So, yeah, I don't think we'll be playing with all the tools.
Right. All right, so you guys remember this notebook. It is being put into use. You guys will see this when we sit down and talk about October goals. Okay, I don't like that window. There's a window that gives this more and us less. Where is that one? Nope.
That's planner layout right. There's this one.
Nah,
us.
Right.
Ooh, no, that's not it.
Gotta love updates. Okay, we can deal with this.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys will see this book more. This is going to be the goal tracker, the commonplace notebook. I'm really liking it. It's working well. I've got to get it caught up because I've missed a few days of recording things, but like this allows me to do this stuff. So yay. When it like we'll do this when we do October goals.
Cool.
All right. So what I'm going to try is planning with Laker Stout. Now I had been using her daily sheets. Her daily sheets are amazing because they're flexible. We're going to move into doing her weekly setup and see if it works. So the key point with the system, and this is why it's not a planner, is we tried even trying to put this into a planner. It didn't work. Now, granted, I could punch up here and slot it in and work long ways. That annoys me.
Well, and starting out with something new, sometimes the KISS principle applies. It's just print it out, see if it works, play with it later.
Correct. And design it later and not out fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this week gets interesting and complicated at the same time. So
yeah, we got a few things going on.
We do. We're going to color mate our system. We're also she uses these paper mate pens, and I didn't think that they made a big difference. You know, not that a pen is a pen, but this has not always been my brand of pen choices. With that, however, I do like them, especially on her planning setup.
Ooh, you got a whole color set there, right?
Yeah, I got a whole color set.
Nice.
Because I color code things for my eyes. I color code things for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is very important. It's very important.
Right, because then that allows the eye to just catch what I need to move forward.
Yep.
All right, so our first
just
box.
Always a lovely.
Right. So let's go in and put the shows in. So those that love and prefer the deco planning, you might want to take about 2 to 3 weeks off as we build the system, because I'm not going to do the pretty planning until I get the functional put into it.
Well, and I've noticed that, because I think I know one of the videos you were referring to, or at least it's stood out for me.
It's not in Wednesday video, honey.
Do what now?
It's the Wednesday video I'll watch.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what I was saying was the part that stood out to me was talking about some of the differences between individual planning people being functional or pretty planners.
Right.
And then sometimes that within that, even if you are one or the other, or it's more like a scale. Mm-hmm. Like, and kind of bringing that up is sometimes it just has to work. You can figure out how to make it pretty. Sometimes it just has to work. Sometimes you really want it to be pretty, and so that's when you kind of go, okay, well, this is functional. Now, how do we make it visual? Right.
And sometimes the functional part's the more important part when you're getting into when you're going through change. And yeah, and people think, oh, well, you just got to pick him up. That affects a lot of things because my life is like a Gantt chart, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think there's some considerations there. We're a one-car household.
Mm-hmm.
We have now 2 people working a night shift, and 1 person day shifting.
Right.
As well as like all the intermingling pieces of our lives that have to go on there. Right. I will say though, this is kind of, for me, from my perspective, the getting both of you onto one shift, and especially with the consistency that you can both now have with that, I think is going to be like the biggest like net positive for me. And like 90% of that is the consistency.
Right. And that's what I need to get to for my health, is a consistent, this is the schedule. So he's not working 7 days a week, so I could easily go, oh, he's not working Thursday. I'll just grab lunch through, anywhere in there.
Exactly.
But we don't know because his new schedule starts on Tuesdays.
Yeah. Now, I will say that's probably a slightly more annoying aspect. Like, we were already frustrated by the, Friday to Thursday that he was doing.
Right.
In terms of scheduling. Now it's basically Wednesday to Tuesday, and he finds out on Tuesdays what his next Wednesday through Tuesday looks like.
Right.
And it's like, so I'm really hoping maybe there's a lot of repetition.
Right.
That's what I'm hoping for.
But the way his shifts are, it's quite easier for us.
Much easier.
To getting it in.
Well, yeah, and especially as the day shifty.
Right.
Because with that schedule, we can almost guarantee, unless there is some horrific event, he will only be working from this time to this time.
Right.
And there's no, that's just how their shifts are.
Right.
That's
it. His schedule says 8 to 5. He doesn't get out to at least 5. So we know that we can plan between 8 and 5.
Yeah. So it's a dead on, even if he's not working, I can just, have the moment of, oh, well, I don't have to be home.
Right.
At that exact time.
Right.
Because that's been a real struggle sometimes. Especially for he gets scheduled for an 11 a.m. Ugh. Talk about shoot your whole day.
Right. So, and the reason that I'm liking these boxes is it shows the amount of task blocks that you can do. Now, I haven't joined her community. If this works for me at this level for 2 weeks, then yeah, I probably come next month we'll join her community. And see the other things, and you guys may be seeing tools from her because of that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you've been liking a lot of her videos.
I've been loving a lot of her videos.
Yeah, and you've been working some of the different components, and yeah.
All right. But it's different. This one, and that is at 6:30. I like her planning stuff because it's flexible. What I mean by flex, it can be anything. It can be very flexible. It's like if I need to move my wake up time to 7 p.m., I've not wasted a whole throw it out. It isn't going to work, or get out the whiteout and let's start working through it. It doesn't work that way.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It's like you just flip the page and you can just move on. Because the amount of planners that have died, and you guys have watched this, if you've been watching the show for a while, you've watched them die. Because one thing changes or two things change.
Yeah. Nope. Done.
Right.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work. Isn't going to work. Um,
Is it bad I've thought about making you a planner out of felt and Velcro?
you know, that may become a thing. That way,
Like, it would be really big. Would be the biggest problem with it.
well, no, and sorry, I have to concentrate on this.
Okay.
That way, when things die, like Modern Spiritual died, or things pick up, like other projects we're working on in the background, then I can just either add a piece or take a piece away, or just clear all the lines and start over.
And I think since we're doing psychic that plans, and this is probably one of the biggest topics that I think can come up. Color Forms needs to put one out for him, Brenda said. But I want to talk about our other comment here. Hopefully they will be better at giving you a schedule than the last place, talking about the Invisible Assistant's work schedule. Getting the schedule wasn't the problem. Like, we consistently got the schedule, but we actually, I ended up blurting it out, and it had more to do with my excitement about the new job for him than, like, trying to take it out on him or emotion. Like, I spoke before I really thought about the words that I chose. And I described the previous job as a total nightmare for me. And then I went on to qualify that. Because the reality was, if the business was open, they expected all of their employees to, on a moment's notice, come in or leave whenever they wanted. Even if they weren't scheduled to come in or to not come in at all. That mentality is so hard to plan around.
Right.
It just basically means from the time this business opens until this business closes, 7 days a week, you have to be available to take him in, pick him up, or do none of the above.
Right.
And it's like, how do you plan for that? And then without, like, a consistent, like, I understand a lot of businesses work that way. But typically there's kind of a routine to it. Is that, like, everyone kind of starts to dovetail together, and, like, this person works these days, this person works these days. It never really did that. It was just this constant, like, well, this week he's going to go in at, 5, 6, and 7. And then next week he's going to go in at 4, 3, and 5.
Right.
And so there's just, and that's if they don't tell him to not come in.
Right.
And then he's supposed to work till, 10, 7, 9. Like, tell me how I plan around.
Well, not only that, but it's like, okay, he goes in at 5. He may get off anywhere between 7 and 10.
So,
Yeah.
And there's a part there, and it's like, this is not an anger thing, but it's just the reality is, in a 1-car household, he doesn't drive. I mean, even if he did, it would make no sense for him to take the car. But if he were to do that, I'm sure that would work better. As in, he could go into work whenever he wanted to and leave work whenever they decided it was time.
Right.
But outside of that, like, the minute you involve a secondary person or more to accommodate travel, which we did. We had to get a roster of people
Mm-hmm.
that could, pick him up, drop him off, or not, depending.
Right.
And it's that or not depending that was always the like,
Right.
I planned around this, and then now you tell me.
Right.
Not at him, at them. Is
Right.
get it together, because it's not like they called him the night before and said, never mind, come in later or whatever. It would be like an hour before his shift starts.
Right.
And just like mentally trying to go anywhere or plan anything or schedule stuff, it wasn't just like, oh, look at the schedule and see when he works and
Right.
then plan it.
Mm-hmm.
It was having to do the like emotional labor, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
of an insolvable equation.
Right.
And then always having this moment where it's like that, and it still didn't matter.
Right. Didn't matter, didn't occur, to the company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never got angry with him about it. Yeah. And I want to make that abundantly clear, because this isn't about him. And I'm really not even angry so much at the employer or the person creating the schedule, but just the fact that like there's this mentality that this is functional. And it's like, is this functional for anyone? Truthfully, honestly, like, if there's people out here that like, I love working like that, I can pretty much tell you have a car and a driver's license.
Well, I can pretty much tell you that it's ridiculous. But when what it all came down to, when we sat and looked at it, it had really nothing to do with the GM. It had nothing to do with the manager. Well, it had everything to do with the manager that was his evening shift manager.
Yeah.
And we all three have talked about this. When he would work with this one manager, she took her, and this is something that happens so often, and we see it in networks, we see it in a lot of corporate America. Like, apparently she planned her world around her bonus, and she didn't care what happened, when it happened, who it happened to. If her labor's high and she knows that's affecting her bonus, you walk in an hour ago, go home.
It's going to be what labor?
Yeah.
Like, she was, and I can't even fault her. I can't fault her.
Right.
Like, I cannot fault her for that.
Right.
It's the system is working exactly for what the system is meant to do.
Right.
And believe me, if I wanted to cuss someone out right now about it, I would go ahead and do that.
Right.
Without any qualms. Like, he left the job.
Right.
There's a part of me that understands it. Like, these are all, gears in a machine.
Right.
It's why did we ever incentivize this in the first place?
Right.
I understand that it has to do with business profitability.
Mm-hmm.
And I can wholeheartedly get behind the idea of not, paying 20 people to stand around and do nothing.
Right.
I get that. I get it. But at the same time, like, if I want to yell and scream about anything about it, it's the fact that you hired so many people because you're afraid someone's going to quit,
mm-hmm.
that you now have to give them hours,
mm-hmm.
but your labor, like, you're caught in this machinery of the whole thing.
Well, not only that, but they incentivize it for the like, they tie their paychecks so much to the bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to get your bonus if XYZ occurs.
Yeah. Well, and if you want to get angry about something, then I would almost sit there and argue the point of, so by reducing the paychecks and, you know, screwing with the lives of your employees, a manager gets a bonus.
Right.
So you're still paying out money, not as much, and I get that.
Right.
But you're still paying out money.
Right. And your turnover rate is high.
But then you're just turning around and feeding the problem of why you can't keep people.
Right.
It's like, like, I don't know you want to incentivize that.
Right. But they have, and they continue to do so. And, you know, this is why, like, you don't have 4 years, and I do mean years. This place had one manager, and I could almost count who was going to take my order.
Oh, yeah. It was going to be her.
Well, it was going to be her, but I'm saying is I could almost count who was taking my order, who was, you know, and, you know, she, you know, y'all guys think I'm picky at orders. Dad was worse. And she would even catch him you know, his grill cook knew the order as it was coming in. And it had nothing to do with small town America. It had to do with these people had been doing this forever. Okay, so here's the basic weekly plan. There is now a 3:30 to 4:30 lunch put into the plan. We're at 58 hours this week. I have my 3 gyms in here, which is all that I'm going for is just 3 gym times. Pre-put in. I've got white space. There is naps in here that doesn't go into this planning sheet because this planning sheet is just work. What am I workably doing? Okay. So then we move into, and she puts it all on this sheet, but when I've done that, it got too overly confusing.
Okay.
So I'm adapting it and moving my to-dos to this sheet and color coding them in the dots. Instead of checking them off, the dots are telling me which of the 3 goals I'm working on goes to that sheet.
Oh, nice. So now you're color coding them when you check them off, not before.
No, like when I put them down here, like here we go. You know, the first one is a business one, and it's my comms routine, and that happens like every day. Or communication routine, and you know, breaking it all down through there. Okay. I'm not going to wait, you know, put everything else that needs to go in here, but it's only like I can only do 3 greens a day, 3 blues a day, 3 yellows a day.
Oh, nice.
You know, this is my first goal. This is my second goal. This is my third goal.
Okay.
Okay, that translates into the sheets you guys have seen. These sheets, which is my daily sheets, that I can adjust this time, space, but it locks me into a limited amount of hours. I work from 5 to 7. It has 8 here, but it's 5 to 7. But if say Tuesday, I have a 2:00 meeting, so I can start my day at 1 and just split this because like maybe between 1 and 2 I don't have anything. I can just split this and do 1 and 2 and break these lines into 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Nice.
Yes, I'm liking that flexibility. Okay. So we're going to see how this works for 2 weeks. Then her goal planner should be out for the 4th quarter, and I'm going to get it, and we're going to do that as a video, not a live thing. And then you know we're going to both of us are going to sit and go, okay, is this working for us? The reason for that is when you have massive changes, and you guys may not understand that these are massive changes, and they're like, well, he got a new job. Yeah, but that changes when chores are getting done, what chores are getting done, when things are getting done, how things are going to be handled, moves are like a full show, moves like my rhythm in the evening. Like I need to have a 3:30 alarm so that I can go get him. Like these are little quagmires. So I'm going to be tracking like, do I have, like, is there too many tasks on a day? Is there not enough tasks on a day? How's this affecting the finances? How's this affecting call volume?
As well as like, I mean, like there's a lot of like little effects to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really is truly and honestly a butterfly effect.
Right.
It's the one little change isn't the problem.
Right.
It's that, well, that change bumps this, that bumps that, that bumps this, that bumps that.
Right.
Like it's or a ripple effect. It's also been called. But yeah.
Yeah. But the other part is like the task. Like I've had a task list that fills a page that needs to be done in a day. That can't be happening. I can't be up at 11 o'clock in the day trying to put together things. Like that's not going to work. That's why I love that you get here and it moves to not to today.
Yes.
Yeah. And then if it gets to here 3 times, then it has to go to like first priority in that section.
Oh, very cool. So,
like if I miss the gym, right.
Instead of being a task list, which I think we're all guilty of having one that at least runs somewhere in our head of all the forever things we need to get done, instead of trying to put one of those onto a sheet of paper and then go, I'm going to do all these things today and like be half dead tomorrow.
Right.
It realizes you're human. Stop.
Right.
Like, prioritize it. Like, you only have this many spaces to fill and then you're done.
Right. And your own, and we've tracked, I track everything. Like we've tracked sleep, and we have my sleep in order, and that's doing fairly well. I got to work on getting to bed. I think everyone has to work on that. But like, I get 7 hours sleep. In everything I do, I get at least 7 hours sleep, whether my body likes it or not. It's occurring. So we'll see. This is and it's not a plan-er system, it's a plan-ing system. And what's that? And that's because, like, we put this into a planner. She doesn't even use it as a planner.
Okay. So,
like, literally, she uses that as a pad.
Oh, nice. So basically, just you create your day as you go along to the day.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe work on one for the night before.
Right.
And then chunk it. That's yesterday.
No, this is today. This is my plan for today.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we're at. This is where it starts. This is what it looks like when it starts. And then like yesterday. Yeah, this is what yesterday looks like. Okay, and then like as things changed, they got done. Like social setup didn't get done, it got moved on. Comm routine did get happen, email did happen, appointments got dotted in, and we move forward. It's not so complicated, but it's keeping within the boxes. Like green, like work tasks happen during work time.
Okay.
And it keeps the morning routine. She has a night routine that I'm currently not doing because my night routine sucks, and that'll be something I will take care of in October. This is where I am right now.
Cool.
Yeah. So I like it. It works really well for now. We will see as we go through these changes. And, this ties back to Cindy. And, her saying when your life goes through a new phase to really just grab a notebook instead of going out and spending $70 on a planner. All I did was make my notebook printer paper and, flexible to where I can do it.
Hey, fair enough. I mean, I don't think she can really have a qualm against the idea that,
right.
It has to be a notebook or that it can't be
Well, no, not at all. I
Right.
don't. Her thing is work with what works for you. Take what works and doesn't work. Cindy's routine is the same thing, and she does these beautiful watercolor planners and all these other things she's tried, and she's reviewed planners, and she is where I'm at, and it's where I kind of see I'm at in three different directions. Like I like Cindy's thing of get to where you get your basics in, and then you can fill in everything else. I like and her, just use a notebook. Sometimes you just need to get a notebook and just use that for a little bit, and not being into consumerism. Um, I like Lakin's view of do not overload yourself. Start where you're at and work your way to where you want to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because like we've moved Sims, we've changed parties. Now we have our invisible out working and doing things differently. And then we've got like everything else just moving around us. And I've got networks closing and networks starting. And it's like, okay, maybe right now it's not a great time to be in a happy planner. Maybe right now it's not a great time to be in HB90. Even though I'm staying with HB90 principles, the HB90 planners never worked for me. It's too open.
Yeah, you've struggled with that one. That
Right.
it's not that it's a bad system; it's a brilliant system. The framework of it, the actual
Right.
page,
Right.
is what doesn't work.
Right. So we will see how this goes. We will try this. This will be probably for the next 2-3 weeks, at least until we start the new quarter. We're going to work. I'll video, working through her goal planner so you guys can see me do that and setting real stuff and resetting things and that type of thing. And then we'll go from there. I mean, if this is where we're at, then this is where we're at, guys. And I'll have the weekly plan done, and then we will just go through and set up the daily pages. Because there's room for deco on these daily pages if we wanted to, especially washi tape. Like washi tape will fit in. Stickers could definitely fit in. So decorative planning isn't over, but it's going to take a sideline to functional planning and functionally working out the psychic slide.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's take a look and run a break, and then when we be back, let's go ahead and do a 3-card.
Okay.
2, 3. All right, this is interesting. We have the Magician here. The Magician reminds you that you're in control of your own energy. You also have all the tools you need to move things forward. Then we have the Eight of Wands here. The Eight of Wands is showing new opportunities coming in, new desires, new wants. But then we have the Emperor closing out the week, and this is you taking form and control and fitting things in.
I think you just described the show.
It is. But this is what our next week is looking at.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So, which kind of goes along because there's an event coming up on Tuesday, full lunar eclipse.
Yes, it's the 4 lunar eclipse. We also have a full moon Zoom with Coven of the Crystal Isles. So go over like that page. I'll make sure to share that on my socials where it's appropriate for you guys to be able to do that. We're going to be doing public Zooms. We're going to be talking about this lunar eclipse and the 6-month slingshot and how to actually use that for your betterment.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
All right. So with that, let's pop a commercial and then we'll look and see what's going on in the digital world.
All right.
Love diving into metaphysical topics, psychic insights, and lively discussions? Now you can help keep the conversation going. By becoming a Patreon supporter of The Psychic Coffee Shop, you'll gain access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes insights, and special perks just for our patrons. Join our community and ensure that your favorite psychic show continues to thrive. Your support helps us bring more enlightening episodes, special guests, and deep dives into the world of the unseen. Become a patron today and enjoy a cup of wisdom with us every week. Click the link to join the baristas and unlock exclusive content. Thank you for your support.
Unlock your full potential with Aeson Knight's life coaching. Are you ready to take control of your life and manifest the future you deserve? Aeson Knight, a seasoned life coach and master psychic, is here to guide you on a transformative journey. Whether you're navigating personal challenges, career transitions, or seeking spiritual growth, Aeson's life coaching services offer tailored guidance to help you achieve your goals. With Aeson by your side, you'll discover the tools to overcome obstacles, embrace your true self, and create a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. His unique blend of spiritual insight and practical coaching empowers you to turn your dreams into reality. Ready to make a change? Book your session today and start your journey to a more empowered, balanced, and joyful life with Aeson Knight. Click the link to schedule your first session and step into your power.
Are you ready for an electrifying podcast experience that keeps you coming back for more? Join Aeson Knight every week as he takes you on a journey through captivating shows, each exploring unique and fascinating topics. And here's the best part. By subscribing, you'll never miss an episode where you can get your burning questions answered live on air, absolutely free. Whether it's relationship advice, career guidance, or mystical insights, Aeson's podcasts have got you covered. When you subscribe, you become part of a vibrant community, engaging directly with Aeson as he shares his wisdom and leaves you feeling empowered and enlightened. Don't miss out. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation. What you'll get by subscribing: Monday 5 p.m. Metaphysics. Today, soulful conversations with Aeson Knight and Firefly, exploring the essence of metaphysics in today's world. Tuesday 8 p.m. The Psychic Coffee Shop. Dive into current events with a psychic twist, featuring special guests and thought-provoking discussions. Friday 9 p.m. The Mountain Bears Podcast. Lively discussions from a gayish, techie-ish, bearish perspective with Aeson and Joe. Sunday 5 p.m., Psychic That Plans. Get a weekly tarot energy overview and time management tips from Aeson Knight. Click here to subscribe now and never miss an episode. By subscribing, you're not just tuning in, you're joining a community of curious minds and ensuring you're always in the loop with Aeson's insightful and interactive shows. Don't wait. Hit that subscribe button and get ready for an amazing podcast journey.
Ready for an enchanting journey of self-discovery? Join Lord Aeson Knight in our Wicca courses. Unveil the secrets of Wicca, explore deity relationships, rituals, and more. As a third-degree high priest, Aeson Knight guides you toward empowerment and enlightenment. Enroll today and take your first step into the magical circle. Click the link to begin your journey.
Psychic Saturday. Get 50% off with Aeson Knight every third Saturday of the month. Don't miss out. Book now.
All right, so let's look at Digital Land.
Yes. All right, so we are keeping the theme. I'm loving the theme. Theme is working. Except for one thing. And I will be fixing that this week. And let me show you all exactly what I'm talking about. So the background here that is wiggling on your screen, that is not working for me. So I will be figuring out a better solution for that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too condensed of a space,
Uh-huh.
and it's too dark. So
Okay.
the problem I'm running into is I know I have something,
Right.
but I'm not one glance at it. And so I don't like that aspect. So I'm definitely going to be finding, okay. There we
Yeah.
go. So yeah, I'll be finding something different there. I didn't realize how much that was creating an issue for me, but it's creating.
Not only that, but that's more than a 1 hour visit.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a multi-hour.
Yeah, so
Like
that
this stuff.
would be my thing, is like, because you could easily get booked into other things just looking at that.
Well, thankfully, it's one of those that, like, the minute once I see the words,
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know there's no way that's a 1 hour. Like, it takes me over an hour to get there.
Right.
So, like, there's a pre and a post travel. And
Right.
even if I'm only there for an hour, which that's kind of unlikely. More so because we batch up things when I go. It's never a one-item task list. So yeah. Because it's one of my clients and they're kind of, again, they're an hour away.
Right.
So yeah, I've got to find something a little better for that. Everything else has been working for me.
Okay.
I'm liking the rest of it. So yeah, most of that's just gonna stay and hang out and do its thing. And then yeah, so I've got one big client visit on Monday. I have another client to schedule. Your mom has a doctor's appointment on Tuesday.
Okay.
And that is pretty much my week. Everything else is just the norm.
Right. Cool.
So,
Very cool.
Hopefully. And your mom's doctor's appointment is local. So, yay.
Yay. All right. So I'm glad your things are working out for you. But yeah, that gray, like, for me, I'd switch pen colors, but I know that's a thing for you.
I've tried to figure out what a good contrast on that gray is.
Uh-huh.
And I can safely say that is the worst gray known to humankind.
Okay.
Its tonal value is one of those. It doesn't matter what you put over top of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a non-contrasting gray.
Right.
Like nothing wants to contrast against it.
Right.
It's
Okay.
just it either blends perfectly or it's obscured.
Right.
Like it's just this unfortunate middle ground gray.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that happens with stickers. Like, if you notice, I don't write on stickers a lot because they smudge, they smear, like, they just don't work well.
Right.
All right. So here's the plan. For vlogs this week, you should be getting a vlog every other day. Like, I'm going to set that goal to vlog every other day, which means Patreons will get them that day, and then YouTube will get it the next day. So I'm hoping, like, I don't know, I still have to work out and see how many task blocks I have, but it should be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday for Patreon, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for YouTube.
Very cool.
Yep.
So I've noticed you've really been liking doing the vlogs.
I have. It's just getting set up, remembering things to talk about. Mm-hmm. And I want to have something to talk about in a vlog other than just me rambling. So, sometimes that goes a little crazy. All right. So with that, guys, make sure to follow my socials. I'll be on mostly night shift, as you guys see. Between 3:30 and 4, I'll be taking a lunch break. And I think that this schedule gives plenty of times for private appointments between, and I open my whole network schedule for my privates, but that way, if you need me at 3 a.m., you can book me at 3 a.m. But, US, a lot of people are not like, oh, yeah, let's book a 3 a.m. appointment, but you can definitely do so. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So with that, let's throw it over.
Okay. So, of course, we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Brenda, Joan Owen, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Caitlin Bell, Devin, and Maria Meyer. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become a Patreon sponsor and receive all the wonderful benefits our baristas receive, please visit us at PCSPNetwork.com.
Yes. All right, guys. You have a great week, and we'll see you tomorrow at 5. Bye, y'all.
Bye.